Yeah, man. Well, I think a lot of people are going to resonate with you too, Steve, because you're super open with your experiences, and it just comes off as so genuine that you really do just want to help people. Because
Yeah.
you said you were in your course right now is based in 22 countries.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
just to catch the audience up to speed, because I think we connected around 2018. If I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken, that's when you wrote your first book, right? The
So,
roadmap.
so okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, how this came about, it's a true story. So as I went through my career, I probably started about 10 years ago. That I had a lot of good jobs and I learned a lot of stuff. But whenever I was given a really good piece of information, I wrote it down. And I had this Word document and I gradually built it up over time. If I read a good book, most books nowadays are 300 pages, but actually you could condense it down to one paragraph if you really wanted to. And I brought it all together. So the first book, if you want to call it that, was called the Growth Strategy Roadmap. A lot of the similar content, and I put it into a PDF form, and I used to again give it away for free. And the idea was just to help people. It was stuff that I'd tried and tested. So, for instance, when I got the first job as managing director of this firm in Durham here in the UK, basically we were able to double profits within 18 months. And this was a 33-year-old kid going into a business which was declining to be able to turn it around and do it. So I practice this stuff. I know, so I give it away for free. But the issue is that and I was in employment at the time, and I since went on to other better jobs that were floated on the stock market and lots of really cool kind of offshore energy stuff. But when I set up as a management consultant to work for myself, because I had that hunger to do it in October 2019, for the first 6 months, I was just doing consultancy stuff, which was cool, and I get paid to do that, and I enjoy that. But actually, I always wanted to really work on, well, basically this. So that especially when lockdown happened, a lot of people, cried into their bed sheets and said, "Oh, the world's end." And I just wrote a 216-page, 50,000-word book to really improve it, but built all the infrastructure, the course videos, the website, the graphic design, like everything myself.
Hmm.
And then basically launched it. So I launched in February, launched publicly, that is, what you have. So it comes in a nice box. And I was
Yeah.
really into the packaging and stuff.
Can you explain to
Um,
the listeners what you keep holding up? The
okay,
book.
yeah, sorry. So basically, there's a course textbook. It's hard for me to flick through just where the camera is, but it's a 216-page business textbook which guides you as a roadmap right from what is business strategy all the way through to making it better, making sure your company makes money, things to consider, to how to build your personal brand, build awareness, what is company marketing, how to do it well, all the way through to how do you sell your product and that kind of thing. And one of the things that I noticed was that whenever you go to a seminar or you watch an expert on YouTube or you read a book, generally it's a sales book or it's a marketing book or it's a strategy book or it's a mindset book, as you said before. But I'd never seen anyone in the world ever say, well, actually, you know what? You can make that marketing strategy a lot better if you apply the sales tactics from Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street, and actually identify the ways to use things from different parts of the world together to have a much greater business impact. So the whole point of the roadmap is a way that it helps. I give that to people. That's what we kind of talk you through. And in chapter 14 or module 14, I show how they all kind of interlink.
Hmm.
But then when I actually kind of launched, a lot of people just like the book and they like to just in their own time around their own stuff, work through it and just, help tick along their personal development. But then my original plan when I launched the online course was I recorded like 150 videos to walk you through every single concept, and there's a whiteboard and I draw stuff out, and it took me a huge amount of time. And then I realized about 2 months after launch, so this would have been 3 months ago, people weren't really using the website. Some were, but they weren't. What they wanted was live interaction to actually, they want people to talk them through it. They want the classroom element to it.
Yeah.
So I had to pivot, recently, but that's cool. And then the other thing that I also realized was that I'm trying to build a genuinely global business. That's what I'm trying to do. So likewise, it's no point. My first classroom session was 3 p.m. in the UK, which would be 10 a.m. for you.
Right.
But if you're in China, India, Ukraine, Russia, Middle East, wherever, that's the middle of the night, Australia,
Right.
or it's too early in the morning for America. So I thought, well, actually, I need to do different time slots for different parts of the world. So I created them. And I now do in the UK 3 p.m. on a Tuesday, 8 p.m. on a Tuesday, 7 a.m. on a Thursday, and midday on a Friday. But what that means is if you can be in Perth, Australia, or Singapore, or LA, LA or San Francisco, there's a classroom session that you can join to ask questions and actually just help you work on your personal development. But I created them, and for the first 10 of them, 15 of them, apart from the 3 p.m. one, which was popular, nobody turned up. But I knew I had to create it before people could come. But I knew that I could never build a genuinely global business if I didn't have genuinely accessible, including time, classroom sessions that someone in Ghana can access. That it's having the faith to do something and keep doing it, even if nobody else shows up, because you know that at some point they will. And it was only Tuesday last week. It got to about 8:05 on the Tuesday, and I sit in this office and I was just waiting, and on the Zoom call, because I do it over Zoom, someone popped up and my heart just lit up, because it was the whole point was, especially if you've got a family, you've got kids, you go to work all day, you come home, you cook dinner, you put the kids to bed, and it's only at that point you have any time for yourself to then even consider working on your own business or personal development. So that's why, at least for the UK, that's why that time slot's there. And it's just, but you have to have the confidence to do all this stuff, and nobody might turn up, but you have to just keep showing up, because one day they will. Then they'll tell their friends, and they'll tell their friends, and it's that kind of commitment that you have to have if you really want to make it successful. And the big thing for me as well was that I have absolutely no problem if one day this all crumbles, all fails, I just doesn't make any money, and I go back. I will happily get another job if I know that I've done my absolute very best. And it just didn't work out. I'm cool with that. But I have a sneaking suspicion that it might. And then what's also been quite cool is that from the consultancy business, I generate cash, but I've been able to just reinvest and reinvest and reinvest. That when I launch version 2 in probably October time, it'll be a massive jump, that everything that you've seen or that most people have seen, I kind of did myself. But now I'm hoping it's going to be like proper international standard branding and graphics and interaction and stuff that people will happily think, you know what, that's a really good course. The testimonials are good. The Trustpilot reviews are good. I have faith in what I'm trying to do. Right. And it's just, but you need to gamble and be willing to put yourself out there, because actually it might not always work, if that makes sense. And that's I think people often, when they start their own business, they want the sure thing where it's guaranteed to work. And the truth is it's not. The only thing that's guaranteed is how hard you're willing to work yourself. Right. And then likewise that, you know, you can still be very good at something and it fails, but it's almost being willing to accept that if it does, you know, not kind of half-arse it and not, you know, give everything, if that makes sense.